like being able to work with so many like talented people and being able to like see different interpretations of the characters. I think it's so cool.
My favorite part about putting together After Juliet is obviously working with everyone, but I also really love that we get to do a bunch of acting exercises that help us find our character.
Just, it's cliche, but seeing it all come together. The fight scene's really cool, like being able to put that together and whatnot, and I'm excited for everybody to see it.
I really like the community of people that I get to work with every single day.
Probably how together everybody is. Like, everybody's very supportive of each other, and it's really fun to just get to do everything together. Getting to work together with a bunch of people, like different people from the theater department, because I haven't like gotten to know the seniors very well as a junior, but it's been really interesting to like get to know them finally and not be like as intimidated, you know.
My favorite part so far has been definitely the sword fighting and getting to work with a stage combat coach, because I know it's just gonna look really good.
Honestly, this is my first actual play show. I've been in musical, but I haven't been in a play, so just seeing how everything works backstage in a play versus a musical, like all the like scenery we have to do, and we're doing this one like dance, which is like very different from a musical dance, so that's so fun to put together.
My favorite part about putting together this show was that it was so different from anything I'd done before. There was like these mystical dream sequences and there's sword fighting, and it's so fun watching it come together just kind of as a result of the hard work of all of my peers. It's really fun.
Oh gosh, my favorite part. Well, really, I like when I'm on stage all the time, honestly, just saying my lines. It gives me a sense of power that I'm the important one in the cast.
My favorite part is definitely seeing the people who are new to the stage or haven't quite been on the main stage actually take their role and make it their own character and just become a better actor altogether.
I think I never actually thought about what would actually happen after Juliet. So to be in a show that kind of discovers that and figures out what actually happens, that's definitely my favorite part.
I'm meeting a lot of new people, and I'm making friends with like a lot of new people who I didn't know before this year. So that's a lot of fun because everyone's really great, everyone's really nice.
My favorite part about putting After Juliet together is getting to spend all the time with the theater kids and get to know them better.
Creating friendships and being able to make sure that everyone is having a fun time.
My favorite part is seeing all the characters come to life and watching the actors show a little bit of their own personality in each character.
Definitely bonding with the cast and crew, especially with people I haven't worked with before, because that's definitely really exciting. So,
being able to get things written down and have it organized.
Really just seeing like all the actors and technicians come together to make a production work. I think it's really important that we all respect each other and just have fun doing it.
I think that I feel like it built a really strong sense of community within like the cast and everyone else. A lot of times like the shows we do here are very like inter-class, like just production or just another class. And so I saw a lot of different types of people from different like grades and stuff mixing and like becoming really good friends.
My favorite part about putting together After Juliet is just, I've never been in a play like this before, so I get to see all the process of like how everyone learns their lines, the fight choreography, the set being built. I like seeing like the process of it all coming together.
It's really fun to watch everyone just come together and act together in one shared space, and watching from the sidelines gives me an opportunity to study that.
I really like being around the amazing cast and crew during rehearsals.
I think my favorite part has to be just seeing everyone come together and put their talents to use in this show, kind of express themselves and work with new people.
Whenever we're first looking for costumes and we find a piece that we really like and we just have that moment of realization like that is going on stage, that just, oh, it fits Benvolio so well, oh, this fits Bianca so well, just knowing, and it's just a good feeling.
I really like getting to know everyone. Everyone has such fun personalities and is very experienced in this field.
My favorite part probably is the people and the community of just theater and being able to spend my time working with such amazing people.
Just being able to help out, and make sure that everything goes smoothly with the show.
I don't know, I like working with people, and I just think it's really fun because we have like a bunch of fun people in theater, right? So I think just working with them is just fun in general, just being around them. It's very lively.
I really like getting to sword fight. I think that's so cool.
To work so closely with Ronan, who plays Bianca, it's fun to have and explore a sister relationship with her.
I like the complexity of her character. She's not like any other character I've ever like read for, so yeah.
My favorite part is that I am one of the comedic relief characters, and it's very fun because my character's dynamic with another character's dynamic is practically my dynamic with the person who plays that character, so it's really fun. I think I've played like a lot of different roles over the years, so I really enjoy being able to play a funny comedic character, and I've played comedic roles before, but this feels like, because of the show, like him and Lorenzo are kind of like the comedic relief of the show, and it feels like important in that sense, because of course it's a very dramatic show, it has a lot of messaging, and it's very interesting and really cool, but like, it's nice to be that comedic relief for people to get a laugh.
I like that I get to play a little bit more of like a sinister character that's kind of like, he has a lot of emotions, so he's driven to do some very extreme things.
My favorite part about my role is that she's from Glasgow and she like gets to kind of stand up to Rosalind at the end, and like not really many characters do that except for Valentine, and so I like how she's like very shy and then, well not shy, but very reserved, and then she just like sticks it to Rosalind at the end.
My favorite part about Alice, she's horrible, and I think she gives a very unique perspective to kind of what happens after Romeo and Juliet are dead. I think she brings a lot of humor, so that was really fun to kind of step into.
That I get to kiss a girl on stage, if I'm gonna be honest. Never done it before, but hey, there's first time for everything.
I think being assistant director really gives me the ability to help coach people and help like really make the show what it is, and kind of I feel really good about being able to not only be a part of it, but to make it grow.
My character is kind of interesting because she starts off as like this kind of bubbly, really sweet girl, but towards the end, you'll see.
I like that I get to have a drum. That's quite literally my favorite part. Also cymbals. I get cymbals. Very excited for that.
I like that I can combine both orchestra and theater, my two favorite hobbies.
I really like how involved I get to be with everything. I get to see everything that happens behind the scenes. I get to create closer friendships with the people that I care about, and I just get to see how everything all comes together, and it's really cool.
Even though I'm dead, playing Juliet is such a cool and awesome experience because she's such a historically known character, and I personally have loved the Romeo and Juliet story, and being involved in a play that's about after the known story is a really cool experience.
Just knowing that it's an iconic role, but it's not seen as much in After Juliet. So.
Power.
Seeing all the extra stuff that happens behind the scenes, like within my other roles, it was fun to like move props and like move sets and stuff, but now you see so much more with all of them like lighting and sound departments. I think it's really cool.
I will say I think putting together choreography was pretty challenging, and I had never really experienced like teaching that kind of thing before, but seeing everyone's willingness to do it, seeing everyone's like willingness to like really get it right and nail it down, and then seeing like the end product was like really great.
So considering the fact that I'm an understudy and one of the makeup artists, I get to see a lot of stuff. I get to see like the actor's process, and I also get to see more of the taiki side. So I'm able to kind of like just see everything, which is really cool.
As a freshman, I don't really know much about theater, so when I'm sitting in the back taking notes, I get to see how the plays come together and how we practice and do rehearsals.
Getting to watch how other people take on different characters.
I think my favorite part is that I get to work with someone else and we both get to basically work on the same thing, coordinate, make it a lot easier to understand the part, if there's two people on it at least.
This is my first show, so I'm getting to learn what the routine is and what everyone does. And not as much pressure is on me while I'm doing that.
It's probably whenever everyone actually gets to put on their costumes, because it's so much different than when everyone is just in their regular school clothes, because it helps not only the audience get to tell who is on stage, like what is this character like, but it also helps the actual actor really fit into character and really have the feeling of their character just being in their normal attire that they would wear and just getting the vibes. So that's my favorite part.
It's a passion of mine. It's a lot of fun. I love clothes in general.
It's the creative part, I think, of like the visual that the show gives, and I just love bringing the characters to life for our actors.
I like, being able to kind of walk around the school and grab stuff and get stuff and make the things that we don't have.
One thing I like about props crew is that like I'm always doing something. Like I know a lot of times like on actors, like if they're not on stage, they're just sitting around waiting for their cue, like maybe memorizing lines. But for props crew, I'm kind of always just moving. I'm always doing stuff. So it makes the rehearsals go by really fast.
Really? Oh, this is hard. I really like the end of it when Bianca says the dream is done. I think that's so cool.
My favorite line from the show is muggy.
I like when Miles or Petruchio says, but can you govern?
I like waking shadows come to visit me.
It's when Ava Berry, who plays Rosalind, says she salutes you.
I think in particular, I just like that moment when I'm just ranting about tea. I think it's just a really nice moment to see that side of Gianni where he just like rambles on about things. I also enjoy tea, so.
My favorite series of lines is when Valentine and Benvolio are talking about Rosalind as if she's a fish.
My favorite line from the show is when Johnny is talking about his sword and how it's doomed to disappoint, and I say, just like a man.
My favorite line from the show has to be one of Alice's. She says, I was born, it'll take me a lifetime to overcome it.
There's so many interesting lines that make Petruchio's character such a standout from all the boring, bland other characters such as Rosalind and Volio, but I'd have to say my favorite line is probably when I hold Alice, who I get to kiss on stage. I get to tell her shh. That's my favorite line.
It's definitely Miles when he goes to Jalen and he's just like shh.
Probably like my fourth line of the show. You'll see what it is.
My favorite line, I think it's Zoe's, who plays Gianni, when her character gets really confused about what Lorenzo's saying, and she just looks at Lorenzo, and the way she said it is so funny. She's like, green skin? It's just really funny.
My favorite line is when Rosalind says, lest you get scratched.
I love Benvolio's line, had taken his butterfly fancy.
My favorite line, green skin.
Do you call my love a fish, sir?
I think that just anything that Lorenzo and Gianni say is just fantastic.
Favorite line that I would say as an understudy is probably the bedwetting line, because like the person I'm under is like a nurse, so she's like, hey, like basically, hey, you let him go or I'm gonna tell you you used to wet the bed.
My favorite line is when Gianni asks Lorenzo if he banged Juliet.
My tongue is numb.
Okay, my favorite line is, I think it was either Gianni or Lorenzo, one of them two. And they're talking about Juliet, but not like Juliet, it's like Juliet. And it's the line, first she was babying me like she was my mother, and then, yeah, and then she was wrestling me like my friend.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show, everyone.
Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy After Juliet.
I'm Nick Duran, and you're watching After Juliet. Bum, 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 bum.